What's going on, everybody? It's Matt Faircloth. Welcome. Thank you for watching. So, my name is Matt. Let me tell you a little bit about me before we hop in, and that's okay. And it's okay to talk about me because I want to talk about you guys in a second here. My name is Matt. My company is called the DeRosa Group, and this is us, the DeRosa Group, and I wrote a book called Raising Private Capital. If you guys don't know me, I'm Matt Faircloth. Been investing full time for about 15 years. You guys are going to get to ask a lot of questions in Q&A today, and because I'm going to talk to you guys about a concept that I think is really intriguing, and that's how to raise a ton of money, not a little bit of money, buckets of money in a short amount of time. Because some of you guys might have deals you want to raise money for, so I want to give you guys some tips on that. And we have also done this. Our biggest raise I think to date was $3.2 million that we put together in about 2 months. I'm going to tell you guys how we did it. So you guys are in luck because we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about just the tricks of the trade to raising money, things you have to worry about and things you don't have to worry about. Then we're going to get into some Q&A, man, and that. So stay tuned. The bottom line about all this, there's a lot of information out there. There's information in BiggerPockets. There's information I'm going to give you guys. But you guys have to give me a promise. And I'm going to get you to command on that promise in a second here. You're going to take something you learned from me today and put it into action. Because ideas without action are just simply brain cells with potential with going nowhere. So I want you guys to do is to promise me, give me your word that you're going to take some things I teach you today and you're going to put it into action. And that commitment will look like I want to raise $1 million in an hour. I love that, Ivan. Cool, thank you. Give me a thumbs up. If you guys are committing that you'll take some action with what you learned today, give me a thumbs up right now, okay? Other people that already have a thumbs down haven't said anything yet, and I love you guys for that. You guys are a tough crowd. Hey, Lamont, who's ready to raise some money? Cool, I love it. Love it. Oh, cool. Lots of thumbs up coming in. All right, guys. So thank you for that. Thank you for the thumbs ups. And T-Lift, I appreciate you too. So here we go. So let's say you guys want to raise $1 million in 90 days. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to not have a deal yet. Okay, so you need to begin this process before you have a deal. If you are going to start raising money when you have a deal under contract, it is going to be very hard for you to put the money together. Number one, because of SEC regulations that come into play if you're raising money for equity for a deal you already have under ownership. You can't go present this to new people that you didn't know before you presented the deal to them. If you put the deal under contract and then met them later, that doesn't define a pre-existing relationship. If you met them a while ago and then you found the deal, then that does qualify. So the first thing you need to do if you want to raise $1 million in 90 days is to not have a deal. You want to start networking and really polish up your network. So here's what polish up your network looks like. You guys need to go and get a pen, one of these, okay, and write down all the names, or maybe even get a keyboard, one of these, okay, and type the names of all the people that you know that used to work at one place and now work somewhere else, right? That's so simple. People that transfer jobs, yeah. Everyone you know in your network that changed jobs. Your Uncle Charlie, your Aunt Sally, your cousin, your next door neighbor, anyone that changed careers ever, right? That's pretty much everybody, because the average American changes career about every 7 years. Why am I bringing this up? Let me tell you why. Because if someone worked at company A and then moved over to company B, when they worked at company A, they had a retirement account. That retirement account's called a 401k. When they left that company and went over to company B, that retirement account can now be an IRA, right? You would guess, like, well, Matt, you're talking, crazy talk. You're talking about IRAs. You're making my eyes cross. I'll make your eyes uncross right now. There is $9 trillion with a T like that. There's $9 trillion in IRA accounts in this country, right? 9 trillion, not 401ks, just IRAs. 9 trillion. Of that $9 trillion, 97% of it is invested in Wall Street. 97%. That means 3% is invested in anything else, right? That 3% is not much money. Really not. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it is when you add up the dollars. But what if we as real estate investors could swing that to 4, 5, 6%? We could make a real difference in the real estate investing world. And I'll tell you what, Wall Street's not going to miss it. I promise. So what that means to you right now is the primary source of wealth that you guys have that's untapped, that you guys know people that have, that maybe you've not tapped into it, is retirement accounts. So make a list of people that used to work at company A and now work at company B. Just make that list and get their email addresses, because that leads me to the next step. Before I take you all to the next step, I'm going to answer a few questions and give some shout outs to a bunch of people that have shout outs here on the thing. Lots of thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Okay, be consistent, work hard. That's very true. Work hard, right? More questions. So Lamont still says hello, Matt. Okay, cool. Welcome, all you guys. A lot of people just jumping in and giving more and more thumbs up. And BiggerPockets says take action. I love that about you guys. Cool, thank you. So what I want you guys to do, okay, after you've made that written list, okay, is you're going to start sending out. You're going to send out a newsletter to those on that list, and you're going to say, hey, and these are people you already have a relationship with. I am investing in real estate, and I think real estate's awesome, and I think real estate's incredible, and I think you guys should all come to hear this webinar that you're going to put on, or this meeting you're going to put on, or just get a venue and try and get face-to-face and become the beacon of real estate investing knowledge in that sphere of people, okay? So webinar or face-to-face meeting, whatever, and get some knowledge you learned up BiggerPockets. Again, take action, put one foot in front of the other, and some information you got from BiggerPockets, including the webinars that I teach for BiggerPockets. Take some stuff I teach from my webinar, which I'm teaching one tonight, by the way. I'll tell you guys about that in a second. Take some information that I taught and put it out there to your network. Lay it out there as education, because they may not know what they don't know. So teach them what they need to know to consider an alternative source aside from being a swimming with the masses at 97%. Teach them how they can build real wealth and be a part of the 3% that are invested in something else outside of Wall Street with their retirement account. Okay, that's number 2. Be a teacher. While you're teaching that network about how they can really explode their wealth by being a part of a real estate investing business, including a great concept I'm going to teach tonight on tonight's webinar called the Rule of 72. You guys want to hear about that, because the Rule of 72 is about how if you have someone that's investing with you in a retirement account, you can double the value of that retirement account every 7 years. Simply, real simple. You can double them up every 7 years by applying the Rule of 72. I'm going to teach you guys about that tonight, so be on tonight's webinar. I'll give you guys access to that in just a minute. While you're doing that and being an educator, then you want to go out and start finding deals. Find deals that would make sense, that are especially value-add deals, BRRRR strategy deals. Find those types of things and start sending those out to the network by email as well. So you're sending out deals and you're educating. You will find very quickly people start showing up on your doorstep saying, hey, Joe Smith, or Brady, I'm just calling out somebody here on the list. I see you out there talking about real estate investing. That's interesting to me, because I have a retirement account, or I have cash, or I have whatever it is, and I'd love to invest in real estate too, but guess what, Brady? I don't have the time. Well, guess who does? Brady. You do, right? Brady has the time. I have the time. A lot of you guys watching right now have the time. So this is about you're enrolling your network in the possibility of real estate investing and how powerful it is. You're showing them out. You're going to go out and show some opportunities, and they will start coming up to you, right? But the bottom line to raising $1 million in 90 days is building that list. It's not about finding one investor or 2 or 3 that have $1 million. It's likely raising 10 investors or 10 private lenders at $100,000 a piece, because that's pretty much what the average American has in their retirement account. So that's how you do it, not by calling up the family of Steve Jobs and getting a small slice of the millions that he has or billions that he had access to. It's about going to everyday folks like you and me that have retirement accounts and getting them to redirect some of their money away from Wall Street and into your business. That's how you raise $1 million in 90 days or less. Is simply by beating the drum in your own network and knowing where the money is. And in tonight's webinar, and in my book, Raising Private Capital, this book, Raising Private Capital, is all about knowing where the money is. That could be another title of the book, is where is the money? There is money all around you. This book tells you where it is. That could be a title of the book. Maybe I'll think about it. Maybe I'll write a sequel to it and call it that. So, more questions. How can I be a principal while working a full-time job? Yaceel, it's okay to do that. There's a lot of people that I know that have full-time jobs that still invest. and that. So you can be active in real estate while you still have a full-time job. You're just not going to claim yourself as a real estate professional on your tax return just yet. Hi, Ian from Alberta, Canada. Everything I'm talking about too applies in Canadian as well. You should finish everything you do when you're talking to investors. Just finish it with a Canadian statement like A or something like that, and then it's Canadian. In South Africa, I was able to rent out an office for cash flow. Oh, there you go. That's great. Although, interesting, you're borrowing money at 12% in South Africa. That's crazy. I talked to somebody. I was at the BiggerPockets conference. I talked to somebody from Finland, and they're borrowing money at 0.7%. Renting money is a nice way to say it too. They're borrowing money at 0.7% is what they pay for money in Finland. Isn't that crazy? Cool questions. Cool, you guys are great. Well, a lot of great comments. Just let me know you guys are learning. Awesome. Just what I wanted to hear. Cool. Go Hokies. That's right, Doug. Go Hokies, man. They're on the rise. They only lost a few games. They're gonna get this. I'm gonna start building a portfolio. I'm doing my research. That's awesome, Ryan. So here's the last line to take it home is that you've got to have regular, repeatable contact with your investor base. Once you've built the base and you start putting out deals, the way to raise $1 million in 90 days or less is to have repeatable contact with your base. Now, my company sends out a newsletter once a month. We do twice a week YouTube videos for those that are in our base as well. So you need to have regular communication with those people that are on your list, if you will, because then they won't forget about you. They'll know that you're there. They know that you're putting stuff out. They know that you're constantly, looking for deals and putting out education, and they won't forget about you. That's the way you're going to stay on their list and just on their radar and get their investment attention when you've really got something that's of value. I'm going to type in a few things here into the chat because I want you guys all to, while I'm talking here, to take a minute and go to BiggerPockets.com and because I got a lot more I want to tell you guys. I want you guys to register for tonight's webinar. Okay, go to BiggerPockets.com and sign up for my webinar tonight that I'm teaching at 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay, and it's something that I'd need like another hour to go into all this with you guys. So instead of that, I really want you guys to go into register for tonight's webinar and sign up. And we're going to get into something called win-win wealth. It's how to build win-win wealth out of your own network. And it's a great concept. There is a great way to create win-wins where you win, they win. I've got a phenomenal story that I want to tell you guys on tonight's webinar where somebody who invested with me in a deal, I won because they invested with me and I got to play a part of the deal with no money out of my own pocket. They made a great return on their money, and then we were able to refinance their property and take their money and use it over and over and over as part of the BRRRR strategy. Then, years later, we sold that property. The person that bought the property from us ended up and he was worked up in New York, made enough money through his real estate investments that he had made with us that he was able to, he's from Argentina, he was able to make enough money in cash flow through his real estate investments with our company that he was able to move back to Argentina recently and is able to live off of the cash flow that he made on his investments in the U.S. He's able to live in Argentina just off of his cash flow. Now, the cost of living in Argentina is less than it is in the U.S., so that's an easier feat to make than it is to make here, but it's still a win. He came here from his home country, worked very hard, invested in the U.S. and is able to make enough cash flow that he's able to live back in his home country and live on his own terms where he's from. And he's in his 30s, this person. So win-win-win. I'm going to tell you guys all about that story on tonight's webinar and a bunch more. So BiggerPockets.com/webinars. BiggerPockets.com/webinars. Register right now while I'm talking for tonight's webinar. And it's free, by the way. It's one of those great value adds that BiggerPockets has out there for its community. So it's free. So register for the webinar. We'll hope to see you guys there. A few questions. Brian, how much return should I offer them? Well, I like to turn that around, Brian. I like to talk to my investors about what kind of return they would want to see. And it's a great way to open up the door for conversation. To say, Uncle Charlie, hey, Uncle Charlie, I know you have a retirement account. I know you worked at AT&T for 20 years. Well, I can help you put that retirement account to work. Tell me, Uncle Charlie, what kind of return would you like to see on your money and how secure does it need to be? And he'll probably tell you that you might want to see something really high, something that's a little more speculative, or it might be okay seeing just a fixed rate of return with a monthly check. You never know. But I would let your investors determine your rate of returns. I would turn it around on them because too many times people in our business deal providers, syndicators, are going out there telling investors what return they're going to get. Where I think we should be asking more often what investors want to see. What do they really want? So I would turn that around. That said, Brian, is that the returns I've seen these days are somewhere between 7 to 9% on a private loan, or maybe a little bit higher, maybe up in the tens. And then on an equity deal where there's a little more risk, a little more ups and downs, in the low teens, say 10, 11, 12, 13%. Then if you factor in the big chunk of change they're maybe going to make when the property sells and they make a big hit, then you get up into the 15, 17, 18, 19% range. So that's what I've seen. And again, that's not what I'm quoting. That's what I'm telling people. I'm letting you know that's what I've seen on the market. So I hope that helps, Brian. Ivan, is $20,000 enough to make a hard money loan work? Assuming a rehab is only like $30,000, you could. If $20,000 is all you've got, then you could probably borrow the rest. It's just $20,000 is a little bit on the low side, but it's a good starting point. So, good question, Ivan. Kulbus, most of South Africa can live easily for $2,000 a month in South Africa. Well, God bless you. That's awesome. And that's a lower barrier to freedom than it is in a lot of other parts of the world. Federico, greetings from Argentina. There you go. Well, you can find one of my investors that lives in Argentina now. I can't give his information just due to confidentiality, but I can assure you that one of the investors that invested with us now lives in Argentina and lives life on his own terms because of the investments he made here and because he played a lot of the rules that he learned through BiggerPockets and through a lot of the resources we have available to us here. A few more questions. What would you do if starting out and if you have $50,000? Don, I would be your own bank. If you've got 50 grand to get going and you've got the time, if you have time and money, I would be your own bank. I would bankroll your own deals. You can do a lot of BRRRR stuff where you put money in, rent it out, refinance. Probably have to borrow a little bit of money from a private lender, but private lenders are going to love hearing that you have your own equity in too. So I think the world is your oyster at 50,000, but I probably would do BRRRR deals at 50K if I could, Don. Pinnakin, what is your thought on assisted living facility investment? I know nothing about it, but what's great is because I'm a member of the BiggerPockets community, if I did want to invest in something like that, I could just go on BiggerPockets and do a forum post. So I highly recommend, Pinnakin, you do that yourself because you'll get a ton of great feedback. Good stuff. Keep it up. I will, Anthony, just because you told me to. I will keep it up, buddy. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. Let me check Facebook. Do you still need to get them into self-directed IRA company from a deal? Yes, you still need to have it's called a custodian. You still need to put them in a self-directed IRA custodian for the deal that they're investing in. Are you creating a fund or just adding them to the deed to meet SEC rules? No, so it depends on the deal. Who asked that? Wesley. Depends on the deal. So it's not necessarily a fund. It's not necessarily just putting them on title. It depends on the deal. And sometimes they're private lenders. Sometimes they're in on equity too. But excuse me. I got to go soon because I'm going to start losing my voice. I guess I've got allergies. So, hi, first time on the stream. Great information. You're welcome. Cool. I love your name, Cakeology. Listen, all you guys, biggerpockets.com/webinars tonight. Especially you guys first time on this, you guys really need to tap into what BiggerPockets is available for you. So go to biggerpockets.com/webinars and register for my free, capital F, free webinar that's tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So family and friends have confidence in 90 days. What info do I offer to get them confidence? Dennis, you offer them education. That's how you get people confident. Number one, the reason why they're even listening to you at all is because you're you. They like and trust you because you're you and because you're Dennis and you're awesome. Not because you're some great real estate investor, but because you are Dennis and you are their nephew, their guy they went to high school with. They know and love you because you're you. Okay? Then you educate them on how awesome real estate investing is, and you pick all that information up from BiggerPockets. Okay? You go to BiggerPockets, you go to folks like me, Brandon Turner, Jay Scott, that are all out there. You read books like my book, Raising Private Capital, and you convey what you're learning to your network. And then they will gravitate to you because you are the source of education for them on how they can make money outside of Wall Street and not be a part of the 97% to be a part of the 3%. Okay? You rock, Dennis. Thank you. Thanks for making the video. Raising capital, always a big question among investors. Cool. Cool. Okay, guys, well, listen, I'm going to save my voice because I need to give you guys my best tonight on tonight's webinar. So tonight, not tomorrow, tonight. And by the way, I got one more tip. If you guys can't make the webinar tonight, that's okay. I forgive you. Register anyway, because you will get a recording of the video from tonight's recording. You can watch it anytime between now and Wednesday midnight. Isn't that awesome? BiggerPockets is going to record this thing for you. So I hope you guys can be there live because we'll do more I'll do a longer Q&A live on the webinar. So register for it and then clear your calendar and be there. But if you can't, I forgive you. Just watch the recording. All right? Cool. On the webinar, I give this thing called the Matt Faircloth Patented Internet High Five. And the way it works like this, through the magic of the internet, I'm able to high five you guys from all over the world and just by high-fiving my camera. So I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to high-five the camera, but be on tonight's webinar by going to biggerpockets.com/webinars, and we can do some high-fives together again, okay? So I'm going to count to 3. When I get to 3, I'm going to high-five my camera. Now, you guys all high-five your cameras, too, at the same time, okay? So we're going to high-five across the internet, okay? And I've high-fived people from Sydney, Australia, through the magic of the internet by doing this, okay? So you guys will join the ranks of them right now by joining me, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope to see all you guys tonight at biggerpockets.com/webinars. Appreciate you watching. Now get out there and raise your $1 million that you guys need for your deals. I hope I gave you guys some value. Thank you for watching.